Welcome to the Fight with Depression podcast, the podcast for people who want to improve their mental health. My name is Christopher Boussard, and once again, I have my wife Molly on with me.
Hello.
So that is her standard welcome for our episodes. So we are doing something where, as we evolve, it sounds like you guys all enjoy having Molly on the show, and I don't blame you on that one. And so we're trying to evolve our podcast here, and I just am subconsciously saying our instead of my. And so we're just kind of working on changing the sound and just doing some other things. So anyway, it has been quite a while since the last episode. And I don't know, it's been very,
Interesting
I don't
and
know,
busy.
busy. We've just had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of junk and
Not fun
whatever.
stuff.
Not all fun stuff. I don't know. I mean, some stuff I think kids have their events and everything, but I don't know. It's fun for them. Anyway, so let's get on with today's topic that has been sitting in the queue, and by that I mean my notebook for probably about 4 weeks now. So anyway, we're going to be kind of talking about friendships and everything, and what it looks like to be. I don't know. Let's just get into it, I guess.
Sounds good.
Okay. So Molly and I have been together for almost 20 years now.
Yes.
We have had many friends in our lives, and some have come and gone, and several have stuck around for a while. And we try and make it a point to maintain our friendships that are, I'm going to say, important to us.
I would agree with that.
So then, why is it that some friends kind of stick around and others just kind of dissolve away? And then other friends, you talk about it, Molly's from Nebraska, and we have some friends out there that we go and we haven't seen them for years, and we just kind of pick up where we've left off.
Yeah, absolutely. They are, they are some people that I had met in college. We didn't necessarily, I don't think we went to school together. I don't remember. College was weird. But anyway, we worked at restaurants together, starting, I think, at 18. And I was friends with one, and then worked at another restaurant and became friends with the now husband. And they met, and they are just the kind of people that it doesn't matter how long it's been. They will call up, or I'll call them, or we'll go back to Nebraska for a quick visit, and we just pick up right where we left off. In fact, last year we were in a really sticky kind of a situation, and the place where my father was living, we had to get all of his stuff out after he passed away, and we had 2 weeks to do that. Now, Christopher and I both needed to get back to work, and the kids needed to get back to school, so we had about 3 days to do this task. And we were extremely overwhelmed because it was just the two of us trying to get it figured out. And there was a lot of stuff, but it was also just a difficult thing to do. Didn't really give me an opportunity to process or grieve or anything. It was just, we're thrown right into action. And I realized very quickly, Christopher did too, how overwhelmed we were and that we needed help. So I called our friends, and within 45 minutes, no questions asked, they showed up and they brought some of their kids. And they didn't sit around and say, well, what do you want me to do? They just got to work, started loading things and cleaning. And it was a true example of what a real friendship is.
But I think on that note, though, it's not necessarily like the doing things. We don't just stick. We don't have friends that we keep close to us because they do things for us.
No.
It's it's the people that we keep close to us that maybe that's just a common characteristic that people are willing to kind of put down whatever they're doing or just be available, make themselves available at the last minute, or not find excuses, I guess, for doing something, or like, oh, I can't, I can't show up, or whatever.
It's their heart. And, they could have had things going on. We don't know. We didn't really hesitate. We didn't really stop to ask. We just asked for help. And it's the heart behind the people who see that there is a great need there, and they were absolutely more than willing to step up. And we hadn't seen them for probably 2 or 3 years at least, and it was just so nice that they were there and they were willing, and we really appreciate it.
So I personally have not really been a good friend a lot of the time. I've had a lot of good friends, a lot of close friends, and everything. But I mean, we're talking about our friends and what that looks like. But how do you translate that to yourself? How do you translate that? These are the people. Is that just who they are, how they are, or is that something that maybe I should try and do? Is there something that I can, you know, or and I say I'm talking to the people listening too. That maybe I just want to be a better friend. I don't know what to do. I want to help people, but people aren't asking me for help. What is it that is it something I'm putting out there? Is it maybe I don't seem like a person to come to, or is there something that I should be doing, or how does that what does that look like?
Well, I think that I can jump right in that boat with not being a good friend, because I wasn't always a good friend to people. And I know it sounds silly. I just didn't know what true friendship was for a very, very long time. And I think that with you saying that you haven't always been a good friend, I think that there are reasons why you think that, because I do believe that your depression and anxiety has made it more challenging to maybe, I don't want to say to make friends, but I think sometimes people see your hurt and they don't look past that. They don't take the time to get to know you. And I
Well,
think that, go ahead.
but I think some of that too is not just like I can't see past that, or I can't see past your hurt or whatever, because it's not even people who really know.
Yeah.
It's like a something that I'm putting off. So I tend to come across, I was always known as shy. Oh, he's really super shy. And I think a lot of the time when you have a mental illness, depression, bipolar disorder, something like that, there's something that happens that's going on with you, and people perceive that as a problem with them, or that maybe I've been called stuck up or conceited or whatever. There's things that I'm really not thinking or feeling, but that's the perception that I put out.
Well, we have a daughter who struggles with depression and anxiety, and we've heard that people have a certain perception, not everybody, but a few people have a certain perception of her because she is quiet and she doesn't speak up. And she's lovely and amazing and kind and smart and caring, but you kind of have to meet her where she is, because and I think it's the same thing with you, Christopher. If someone's not willing to, or they just don't want to take the time, then they're not going to, and they're gonna label you with these, untruths, if you will.
Well, and I think with her, you're talking using her as an example. The people who get to know her are always talking about how kind she really is. There's something that once you get past the barrier, that you start to realize, like, oh, that person really is genuine. She's got a hard exterior, but you get in to know her, and I know, there's a lot of people like that. They seem like they have a hard exterior and they push people away, but I think a lot of that pushing people away is a I don't know,
Like a defense
a
mechanism.
defense mechanism,
Yeah.
a survival skill. It's
Protection.
You're protecting yourself from other people. You're protecting yourself from hurt. So that way, when somebody comes and I'm just going to say, when somebody comes and wrongs you, they talk bad about you, they say, they say something behind your back, it doesn't hurt as much if you're not opening yourself up. So you get to know her, and she has some good friends that she's, that have stuck around.
Absolutely.
And if you get to past that barrier and actually get to know the person for who they are, a lot of the time there's a genuine person under there.
Well, and you see it with the way it's so interesting to watch her, and you do the same thing too, Christopher, but it's so interesting to see her interact with the people who have accepted and loved her for who she is and have given her the space and the, hey, it's okay if you're not coming up and saying hi or giving me a hug or this and that. They don't take offense to it. They know that Taylor's not comfortable. Oh, I said her name. I'm not supposed to, am I? I'm sorry. Whoops. Anyway, that she's not.
She knows her name.
She knows her name. That she's not comfortable with that, and they don't hold that against her. And then those people she warms up to, and it's so fun to see because she gets excited to go see those people. She's like, hey, when we haven't seen this person in a long time, when are we going to see them again? And they are equally as excited to see her because they know who she is. And I feel like you are very much the same way. I mean, you have people that
So
go ahead.
this is going to segue into my
Let's
next
segue.
bullet point
We'll
here.
segue.
So I think good friends are always going to be there, but they don't condemn you and they don't turn your back on you, but they are willing to call you out on your crap.
Absolutely.
And I think that's part of it too, where you're not being judged, but you're also going to be, given your space. And those true friends that I've had, they're not talking about you behind your back, because a lot of the time, we say you've got two ears and one mouth. And I think that the introverts, I'm going to say, generally seem like what they're doing or what we're doing is we're listening, we're paying attention. And if you say something behind my back, or you judge me, or you condemn me, shouldn't say judge, because there's a difference between judgment and condemnation. But if you're condemning me and if you're attacking me, I'm gonna know about it. And it's like I said, it's that defense mechanism, or you said, that we're gonna keep that guard up. And a true friend isn't gonna be the one doing that. And but they will call you out. They'll confront you face to face, and that's not condemnation. That's being a good friend.
Yeah. Well, we spoke about it in the last podcast that you have, I mean, our friend, but mostly your friend, has seen you during hard times and cared enough to reach out to me and to ask about you. And it's not like you said, it's not I'm talking bad or we're talking about this person. It's a genuine, I care and I don't know how to help. How can I help? What can we do? Type thing. And I think it takes a lot of guts to do that. And some people Some people can hear it and some people can't, and some people it takes time. But
Well, and sometimes it's hard to hear, and you don't want to hear it, or you may push them away. But if somebody comes up to you, a true friend comes up and is like, hey, you've got a crappy attitude right now, or there's something going on. You need to, what is it? Oh, nothing. I'm fine. What does fine stand for?
I don't know.
Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
I like that.
Yeah. So a friend says, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine." Maybe just no. I know you're not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna keep pushing you on it because you keep pushing me. I'm just gonna resist even more.
Mm-hmm.
That took you a while to figure out, right? I don't know.
Oh yeah. So,
but
oh yeah.
but but a true friend's just gonna say, look, just I know something's going on. There's something bothering you, whatever it is. I'm here for you whenever you want to talk about it.
Well, continually making yourself available. If that person's not ready to talk, you can't force them into it. But making yourself available and continually checking in is, too many people are like, hey, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, good. And then they leave it at that. And that's fine sometimes, but
Well,
if you're aware that there's obviously something happening, it's just this person may not be ready, but to know that you're still there,
Yeah.
you're not pestering, you're caring. And
Well, it's just that like you said, they care enough just to check in. I may not be like, oh yeah, I'm going to open up to you, but just by saying, hey man, how you doing? How you holding up? May be enough to just get somebody through that day, or whatever. And you may not see it. You probably won't see it at all.
yeah.
But if if the person cares about you, that shows even through a text message. If that's all you're gonna do is just like, hey man, just wanted to check in, see how you're doing.
Well, you're not forgotten about.
Yeah.
You're not alone, and that's a big deal.
And like I said, they're willing to call you out on your crap. You don't always have to see eye to eye with your friends. That's a good, easy way to get rid of a friend out of your life is by pushing them away because you don't agree on politics or,
Oh, yeah.
whatever it is.
Well, and the politics example is a great example to use because it's typically something that people have a very strong opinion about. And I think Christopher and I have our own feelings and our own beliefs and our own stance on things, but we try to stay pretty neutral in our friendships because we have people, we've got people on both sides that we care so much about, and it's not worth it to lose a friendship over an argument in that. And most of the people, I don't think, even if we did push back and say, nope, you're wrong, this is it, I think most of them would be respectful and have that nice, argument.
Yeah, I've had some good, educated, not heated, but I don't know.
Well,
heated,
sometimes they're heated. Yeah.
good, educated discussions with people, and if as long as you're respectful, you're not judging, you're not condemning the other person for their beliefs. You're looking for, okay, why is it that you believe the way you do? Why is it that and if you have those discussions instead of arguing with somebody or always trying to be right, you can have those disagreements in a friendship. And, you can, Molly and I aren't the same. We don't agree on everything. We do agree on a lot of the important things, but if you have that educated discussion, then you can definitely have differing opinions.
Yeah, but we also, live in a world where, you're wrong if you don't agree with me. And so you kind of have to just be careful who you're talking to, I'd guess to say, because sometimes people can't look at the other side. So, I mean, is it worth losing a friendship over? I don't know. Depends on who the friend is. But and we didn't really touch on this, and I wanted to. When you opened, you were kind of speaking about why is it that some people stick around and some people don't, and
So you're trying to circle back this conversation to
I am.
close it out.
Is that going to be okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's the obvious reasons. Okay, we get married and have kids, and then we have friends who are still single and going out and doing their thing, and you just naturally grow apart, or people move away, or this and that. But I've found that a lot of I have a couple, and when I say a couple, I mean two, not many. Friends all the way back to middle school that are those people. We don't talk daily, we don't talk weekly or monthly, but if I needed them or they needed me, we're right there. But I think a lot of our good friendships have come from the church and from the fire department. There have been some just amazing people who, I don't know why they take the time to invest in us, because I don't know if we're that interesting or not. But man, sometimes it's just, you look and you go, I'm super blessed to be able to know this person and to be able to call them a friend. And it's okay to talk about the tough stuff, because they're not just the ones there that when everything's going right, when things are good, when you can go have dinners and coffees or whatever, they're the ones that are checking in on you when times get hard or when you need help with something, and they don't hold it against you. They come willingly, and it's pretty amazing that we have some really cool people in our lives.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think we're entertaining, but I usually get invited places because Molly comes along with me.
I don't think that's true.
It is. Anyway,
I think that we just have a good time together, and we have some friends who like us both, and that's good. And the majority, I would say that typically when Christopher makes a good friend, the spouse and I become pretty close. Not always, but a lot of the times we find that we have a lot in common, or that we can relate to the same things. And, a new friendship blossoms that way. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
And even if it's like, not even just being like, oh, that's my really good friend, but you can just hang out and, pick up where you left off and just kind of.
Well, you have a.
Start talking.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
Did I interrupt you?
No.
Oh.
I was rambling.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, it's just, speaking of picking up where you left off, a few years back, Christopher had a friend that was they met in middle school, and were great friends throughout middle school and high school. And then I met Christopher, and this friend had a girlfriend or wife, and, they kind of lost touch. And then about 3 years ago, all of a sudden, he is able to find Christopher through your website, right? Or through the book or something. Mm-hmm. But anyway, and started coming around, and they literally just picked up where they left off. And it is so cool to see that, even though they've both grown and changed and faced different challenges in life,
we're still kids at heart.
Yes. You can still have a good time and be there for each other and care about each other. And that's, I don't know, I think that's pretty neat to see.
So, just if you are on Spotify, I'm going to put up some questions and Q&As and stuff. And, maybe just let us know what your good friends, what character traits your good friends have, and what you look for, and just think about, well, how I don't know. I always try and think about how I could be a better friend and everything. So
I think though that on that, I think it's very dependent to each person, I mean, you've had people just reach out to you because they needed advice or needed to hear your opinion or just needed, they know that you're a great listener and so they need you to listen. And so in that moment, you're the friend that is just there for them and that's what they need. And so I think it looks different, because sometimes it's no secret you can be hard on yourself. I can be hard on myself. But I think you have to look at those instances when somebody just calls you or texts you or comes over or whatever just to be on your presence. Like that's telling you that you're a good friend to that person. I really believe that.
yeah. So don't take those for granted. Don't take those friendships for granted.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was going to be such a hard word for me to say.
Well, it happens.
I know.
Because if you
Anyway.
do, they up and move to South Dakota, and then you
I
only see them
know.
like once a year.
I know. So anyway, let us know. Go to thefightwithdepression.com, and if you need to get a hold of us, go to the contact page, and that'll go right to my email. Answer the questions on Spotify. What else?
Please.
What do you want to say? Yeah.
No,
Closing
I
remarks?
want to say thank you for continuing to invite me on. This is definitely your podcast, and I'll just be your little guest speaker every once in a while, or maybe all the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we've had a lot of positive feedback from Molly on the show. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening. Do you want to close out the?
I don't know how to close it out, so I'm going to leave it to you, and I'll practice for next time.
Okay. Thanks for listening, and until next time, God bless.